Whoa! You know what it is. It's Friday. Live from the third largest city in the United States, Chicago, Illinois. It's The Drive with Mario Smith. I'm Mario Smith. What's up, everybody? How you doing? You ready? It's Friday. Anything can happen day. Check out my man Jay Gliss in Portland. What's up, Gliss?
How's it going?
Hey, there he is. I was a little worried. I didn't see you beforehand.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Are you ready for Friday fun?
I am.
Oh, you say you are. we
I'm always ready for anything. I mean, we put a show together every day, but I'm like, for these 2 hours every day when we jump on here, I'm prepared for everything.
Buddy, same. I mean, and as much as I probably shouldn't be, I am live and direct. I'm ready to go. Oh, what a night last night. So much happened in Chicago. We made a lot of news last night with Jussie Smollett, or as I've been calling him, same thing Dave Chappelle calls him, Juicy Smollett. A lot of news. I have some thoughts that I will share with you.
Happy, was he?
Oh no. It was not. It was got a little weird there for a minute. Thought they were going to have to restrain my man. He was up and yelling and, hey, look, I'm not suicidal. I'm like, no one asked you. It just got real. But we'll talk about it. I'm gonna remind everybody why this is so ridiculous on multiple levels. The level of just utter stupidity involving this entire thing. And baseball.
Yes, I'm so excited.
I got him.
I was already this morning. I got my 2014.
There you go.
Giants shirt on. Yeah, I was already up on my phone this morning, like looking at the free agent tracker.
Like, I'm like, no deals.
The Giants are trying to get.
Let's go, man. It was when the news. I was on the air when it happened, right? So it changed the whole course of my show. I'm just really. I bought tickets this morning for a game against Seattle. I was like, I'm going April 14th. I'll be there. It's a day game. It'll probably be 2 degrees. I don't care. I'm going. I don't want to go in the cold, but I'll go.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to celebrate. If you're a big baseball fan, it's now that it's reality, it's something worth celebrating.
My level of happiness, people who know me know yesterday I was like buying tickets. Let me try to figure out. Need a new hat. Let's go. Whatever Rob Manclown did. Let's just go.
Screw him. He's out of the way now for the most part. Now let's play baseball.
I even watched what the Cubs were doing. No, I didn't. I'm kidding. No, I am just glad that baseball is back. That is a big part of my life, so I am very excited about it.
I actually have an issue that I could use your guidance on regarding baseball.
Well.
So my little Jack, the 8-year-old, he's a pretty good baseball player, and he's our sports kid. He does. And he really wants to go to a Major League Baseball game. But I have an issue because the closest team to us is the Mariners. And it's not that I dislike the Mariners. A lot of people like them up here. But I feel wrong, like taking him, his first professional baseball game not being a Giants game. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, should I just take him to a game? Or, do I need to wait this out?
Take him. What you'll have to do, sir, is you'll just have to suck it up, my friend, and take him to that Mariners game.
I think so.
Are the Giants on their schedule at all?
No, they were last year. They opened the season there last year. I was looking at the schedule the other day, and I was like, the Giants and the White Sox do play, but that's out in San Francisco. Because I was like, if it's in Chicago, I might be coming that way.
Hey, man. But and I'm sure Lindsay will appreciate me spending all of your money. You should just take the whole family up to San Francisco and take them to a Giants game.
I know. And we have family in the Bay Area.
There you go.
It's like, for some reason, every time we go down there, it's not baseball season. I don't know why I keep telling Lindsay, like, next time we need to go during baseball season.
I think, again, Lindsay, you're welcome. I think you plan a vacation for San Francisco, and then that's a good father-son thing to go to see it with the team you actually like, so you can tell him stuff and point things out to him. So Uncle Mario has spoken, Jack. I got you, brother. Don't worry about it. You're going to a Giants game one of these days. I hope I didn't get you in trouble. No. Not you, Jack. I'm talking about your dad. I hope I didn't get you in trouble. Lindsay's in there like, yes, way to go, Mario. You're an advocate for me. See, that's how it works.
She totally understands. In fact, at our wedding, my best man, during his speech, he said something along the lines of, not only is she marrying John, but she's marrying the San Francisco Giants.
I said that's exactly right. I haven't had the pleasure of being married. That's another story one day, Gliss, I'll tell you. But I came mighty close, and I imagine that my best man, who I cursed out last night on the phone, I probably would do. Last night, can I real quick? Last night was an epic night for me. I do remember everything that happened, but I woke up feeling like I shouldn't remember anything.
Right.
Me being here and doing all this talking and looking in the cameras, this is God doing it. I'm very not here.
You just hydrated and sat down, and now it's happening.
Let's go. Go time. About 1:30 Chicago time, I went, well, here we go. Let's get up. Let's go. Now I did my thing, and here I am. And I'm excited, as you can tell. We've got people that watch the show, and if you're a regular watcher of the show, you know that on Fridays it gets kind of wild in our chat. Anything can happen. So if you're a passenger of life today, I'm encouraging you to use the chat, not just to talk to each other, though. Talk to me, talk to Gliss, and we'll talk back. Like, for example, Melinda is in Virginia, London, Carimus, Kevin's in Oregon. Is that a friend of yours? Maybe. Connie's in New York, Tiffany's in Wisconsin, and my man Tay is here in Illinois. So let's all talk on the chat. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see you all. Thank you for watching Backchannel.tv, most importantly, and thank you for checking out the drive. Gliss, did you get a chance to check out Hal's guest today was Batman.
I saw that. I saw that the Batman was
the underlined bold letters, the Batman. I was stunned because I didn't know what was going on. I turned on, I go, why is Batman there? He sounded a little bit like Hal, but it was Batman.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I did see that, yes.
See, if you missed that today, folks, you missed Batman. We had a great guest.
Batman seemed a little grumpy too. He didn't seem to like some of Travis's questions.
He was a little upset with Travis, and Travis wasn't all that happy with him. It worked out great. Travis is sitting there at the end of the interview with Batman. He just kind of like, what is that noise? Oh, it was man, look. You missed Hal. You gotta watch it later. Watch the replay later. That was Batman is the man. I hope he makes more appearances.
I hope so too.
Oh God, he better. More.
I'd like to see more guests like that on Hal's show.
Yeah. We need to petition to make that a thing. If we, you know what I imagine in my head, if we ever do the big giant Backchannel TV meetup, that they have mics around and we just do a live, just unhinged, uncensored, alcohol fueled show. One big giant show with everybody. We'll have to fly in Haley and Allison though from England.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, it would be cool. That'd be fun. Keep putting these ideas in the air, man. Let's see what happens. Somebody's gonna bite on one of them, and they're gonna do it. They're gonna, you know what? That's the idea. Let's get them all together, get them drunk, and put it in front of a microphone and see what happens. It'll be a special closed circuit broadcast because we could not, Anyway, listen. If you watch Backchannel, you know that everything begins at 6 a.m. with Haley and Allison, and then it's Liv Harrison at 8 a.m. These times are all Eastern, by the way. And then Channel Renee at 10. And Sir Anthony Davis is at noon. And then your pal Hal is at 2 Eastern. And then it's us. And we close it out. And this will be the last show until Monday. So glad you're here. Glad you're watching. Let's take a look at some of the headlines that are going on in the news. We're going to talk about this in a little bit. A bomb cyclone is about to dump snow from Mississippi to Maine. A powerful late winter storm combining rivers of moisture and frigid temperatures. That's the name of my new band, by the way, Gliss. Rivers of Moisture. I'm doing it. So stupid. This is just the dumbest thing ever. And frigid temperatures are expected to dump snow from the deep south all the way north to the Canadian border over the weekend, forecasters said today, with snowfall totals ranging from about 4 inches in northern parts of Alabama and Mississippi to about 13 inches in northern Maine. The storm could cause travel problems and power outages across a large part of the eastern United States from late today through early next week. Bomb cyclone. And finally, a judge has rejected Donald Trump's attempt to countersue accuser E. Jean Carroll, calling it a delay tactic. A federal judge today denied Donald Trump's request, to countersue magazine writer E. Jean Carroll for violating New York's law against frivolous defamation lawsuits, criticizing the former president's legal argument as futile and a delay tactic. Trump had asked the judge for permission to use the state's anti-SLAPP law as a defense to the defamation claims and to countersue Carroll and seek attorney's fees if successful. In a 25-page opinion, U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan denied Trump's motion, calling it futile. He agreed with Carroll's argument that Trump's effort was at least in part for a dilatory purpose and thus at least in part in bad faith. And those are the headlines at the top of the hour. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more news for you and see what's going on in our chat. And YouTube is here. I don't know if you know that. And he's from this state. Thanks, YouTube. We'll be back in a bit. It's The Drive with Mario Smith. I'm going to get it together. You're watching Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and you're listening to us on your Amazon-supported devices. And we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to The Drive with Mario Smith here in Chicago, Illinois. My man Gliss is in Portland, Oregon, and we're glad that you guys are joining us. If you're listening to us on an Amazon-supported device or if you're watching on Backchannel.tv or if you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to jump in the chat. Rhea from Trinidad and Tobago, what's up? Yes. First time on the show. Welcome. You're a passenger on The Drive. Glad you're here. And what's going on in Trini? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everything is good. Trinidad is, I have a few friends from Trini, and that place is dope. That's one of the places I'd love to go one day to visit and see what's happening. We're not constrained or bothered by time today, Gliss, are we?
No, we're good.
Okay, because I'm feeling
it's
like
Friday, just let loose.
That's what I need. Let me not let loose. That was last night. Let me just, we're going with the flow today.
Yeah, go for it.
I have some things I need to do. This will look different next week, I think, as I will be able to install all the new things that I didn't get yet, except for the one thing. It's no one's fault that I didn't get it yet. I'm just saying. the reason I don't want to get an email later like, dude, there's a lot going on in the world. People are like, don't want to do their jobs. Okay, let me tell you. I ordered something from Amazon. It's an album. It's John Coltrane and Cannonball Adderley live in Chicago. I'm like, word, live in Chicago? I'm in. I'll get it. They sent me, it's too far away from me. They sent me an album from someone in Germany, I guess. And it's like electronic music,
so
which I don't mind.
Album?
The whole wrong album.
What?
Yes. But that's not why you called. Did I tell you about the empty boxes that I ordered once from Amazon?
No. Oh, so yeah. Actually, I think you did.
I was doing a toy drive, and they sent me Doc Bumper instead of empty boxes. And still to this day, that's one of the greatest things that's ever happened. But I got an album I couldn't use. So I'm waiting on my John Coltrane album now. It should be here soon. Well, I hope it's here.
You could use it, but it just wouldn't be what you wanted.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. No, go on.
I have a bunch of old records in my garage, and I've been going through them because my 14-year-old he got a record player for Christmas.
Nice. There you go.
So he's been trying to start his own collection.
There you go. Is he trying to DJ or
Prince? And no, nice. he's just something to listen. It's like a portable record player. It's pretty cool. So I've been giving him some Prince and Led Zeppelin, some Fleetwood Mac. All that. There you go.
Oh yeah, he'll be fine. You gotta grow him. You grow the man. You know, just listen to this boy and enjoy it. I listened to it, and my father listened to it before me. Maybe not Prince, and enjoy it. Have fun. All right. I suppose I should do something serious, and I will. And then we will get back to silly. Twitter has launched a privacy-protected version of its site to bypass surveillance and censorship after Russia restricted access to its service in the country. Russia has blocked access to Facebook and has limited Twitter in an attempt to try to restrict the flow of information about its war in Ukraine. Both companies have said that they are working on restoring access to people inside Russia, even as they restrict the country's state media from their services. Known as an onion service, users can access this version of Twitter if they download the Tor browser, that's Tor, which allows people to access sites on what is also referred to as the dark web. Instead of .com, onion sites have a .onion suffix. Regular websites, including Twitter.com, are also accessible on Tor, but the onion versions are made specifically for Tor and prevent the site from being spoofed by malicious actors. So when I read this, I'm like, damn, did the AP just tell people how to get on the dark web? Is that legal? Should you be doing that? Aren't there some things people just don't need to know? Do I want to go on the dark web now? Yes, very badly. I would do it now. I should actually. I have another phone that I can do it on. I don't want to mess up the computer or the phone. But the dark web, isn't that where you could buy like illegal stuff and like really, really crazy things happen on the dark web? Isn't that true? I don't know if I want to be a part of that. I feel like somehow that is just a little bit too dirty for my clean hands and my internet. What am I looking for? What's the word? Paper trail. There it is. So did you guys take the census? Anybody take the U.S. Census? Well, apparently, if you're Black, Latino, or Native American, you don't count because the census missed you. Black, Hispanic, Latino, and American Indian residents were missed at higher rates than a decade ago during the 2020 census, according to a report released yesterday that evaluated how well the once-a-decade head count tallied every U.S. resident. Even though the 2020 census missed an unexpectedly small percentage of the total U.S. population, given the unprecedented challenges it faced, the increase in undercounts among some minority groups prompted an outcry from civil rights leaders who blamed political interference by the Trump administration, which tried unsuccessfully to add a citizenship question to the census form and cut field operations short. These numbers are devastating. Once again, we see an overcount of white Americans and an undercount of Black and Latino Americans, National Urban League CEO Mark Morial said on a call with reporters. I want to express in the strongest possible terms our outrage. The results of the U.S. Census Bureau's post enumeration survey showed that most racial and ethnic minorities were overlooked at statistically significant higher rates than a decade ago, with the Asian population being an exception. The survey measures whether certain populations were undercounted or overrepresented in the census. Overcounts take place, for example, if someone owns a vacation home and is counted there as well as at a permanent home address. The Black population in the 2020 census had a net undercount of 3.3%, while it was almost 5% for Latinos and 5.6% for American Indians and Native Alaskans living on reservations. Those identifying as some other race had a net undercount of 4.3%. The non Latino white population had a net overcount of 1.6%, and Asians had a net overcount of 2.6%, according to the results. Here we go. So, again, even though he's not president anymore, somehow his name stays in the headlines because of something he did or did not do. Wow. Have you guys filed your taxes yet? Well, it's going to be kind of difficult for your thing to get processed because everybody's been like stupid busy. But the IRS is making a move to hire at least 10,000 people to help loosen the block. The IRS said yesterday it plans to hire 10,000 new workers to help reduce a massive backlog that the government says will make this tax season the most challenging in history. The agency released a plan to work down the tens of millions of filings that include speeding up the traditionally slow hiring process, relying more on automated processes, and bringing on more contract workers to help with mailroom and paper processing. Take your time, fellas. There's no need to rush. Take your time. Charles, it's his first time on the show. Charles is in Missouri. JP is in New York. Thank you, JP. Also your first time. Welcome. Tay says it's nothing but cat videos on the dark web. And then he said, I'm going to the dark web right now. I want to. I didn't know that the tour thing was a thing. So let's do a quick, I hate to bounce around like this. I'm sorry. But let's do a quick poll question for everybody that's watching. You have an opportunity to participate in the show. This is interactive. You can get on the chat and answer this question. Have you ever visited the dark web? Yes or no? Backchannel.tv, you can also leave a review of the show there. YouTube, there's a live chat right next to that. And if you're listening to us on an Amazon supported device, just say to your Amazon supported device and get it in the chat. Charles says no. Okay, Charles is in Missouri. Thank you, Charles. 10,000 new people at the IRS. Well, that'll be fun. Charles also says hi. Hey, man, how you doing? Welcome to the show. It's The Drive. I don't know where you came from, but I'm glad you're here. That's mean. I didn't mean to sound like that. I don't know where you came from. You're from Missouri. I have family in Missouri, in St. Louis, as a matter of fact, who may jump on me if they know that I am not planning on ever coming to St. Louis. I'm kidding. With COVID-19 case numbers plummeting, Emily Saprin did something she hadn't done since the pandemic began 2 years ago. She put her fears aside and went to a concert. The fully vaccinated and boosted restaurant server planned to keep her mask on, but as the reggaeton star Bad Bunny took the stage and the energy of the crowd soared, she ripped it off. Soon after, she was strolling unmasked in a trendy Portland neighborhood with friends. 2 years after the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic, changing the world overnight, relief and hope are creeping back in after a long, dark period of loss, fear, and deep uncertainty about the future. Everyone was supposed to be vaccinated or have a negative test, and I said, what the heck? I'm just going to live my life, Sapper said of her concert experience. It was overwhelming, to be honest, but it also felt great to be able to just feel a little bit normal again. The world is finally emerging from a brutal stretch of winter dominated by the highly contagious Omicron variant, bringing a sense of relief on the 2-year anniversary of the start of the pandemic. It was March 11th, 2020, when the World Health Organization issued its declaration, driving home the severity of the threat faced by a virus that at that point had wreaked havoc primarily in Italy and China. The U.S. had 38 confirmed coronavirus deaths, and 1,300 cases nationwide on that date. But reality was starting to stink. Yes, it was. Reality was starting to sink in. Stocks tanked, classrooms started closing, and people began donning masks. In a matter of hours, the NBA was canceling games. Chicago's huge St. Patrick's Day parade was scuttled, and late night comedians began filming from empty studios or even their homes. Since then, since March 11th, 2020, 6 million people have died globally. Nearly 1 million people here in the United States. Situation's getting better, but the pandemic isn't over. It's not over. Just because you're over it, sadly, it's not over. And there's a million reasons for that. Stubborn people, um, people who refuse to get the vaccine, um, not for religious reasons or health reasons, just refuse to get it. Um, and the fact that the playbook that was given to the president at the time, Donald Trump, he threw it in the garbage, essentially sending home all the people who were in China to identify pandemic diseases and things of that nature. I was working at the promontory here in Chicago, and we were told on March 11th that in a couple of days we probably were going to be shutting down. And 2 days after that, we shut down. And I didn't proceed to work again for a long time. And to say that COVID has affected me, I lost a lot of really good friends, a lot of them. I managed somehow to not get it. At least I don't think I had it. I think I may have had it at the beginning, but it wasn't, I had a bad cold in like January, February or something. It ripped the world apart, and it's still doing it. I'm not suggesting anything anymore. I'm telling you, if you don't feel safe, wear your mask. It will prevent you from getting sick. It's simple. This isn't hard stuff. You don't need to be a scientist. Just wear your mask if you feel uncomfortable. If you're at a large gathering, wear your mask. I'm going to a couple of concerts in April. I've been out amongst people, but I'm keeping my mask with me, and pretty sure I'm going to wear it because I just can't get it, man. I can't get sick. It's not an option, at all. Just simply not. So be safe, everybody. That's basically what I'm saying. So now, to that end, how will COVID end? Experts believe, and there's a picture that we can't show. Well, I guess we could show it. This lady was not having a good time with that needle. 2 years into the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the world has seen a dramatic improvement in infections, hospitalizations, and death rates in recent weeks, signaling the crisis appears to be winding down. But how will it end? Past epidemics may provide clues. The ends of epidemics are not as thoroughly researched as their beginnings, but there are recurring themes that could offer lessons for the months ahead, said Erica Charters of the University of Oxford, who studies the issue. Says Miss Oxford, one thing we have learned is it's a long, drawn-out process that includes different types of endings that may not all occur at the same time. That includes a medical end when disease recedes, and the political end when government prevention measures cease, and the social end when people move on. The COVID-19 global pandemic has waxed and waned differently in different parts of the world, but in the United States, at least, there is reason to believe the end is near. About 65% of Americans are fully vaccinated, and about 29% are both vaccinated and boosted. Cases have been falling for nearly 2 months, with the U.S. daily average dropping about 40% in the last week alone. Hospitalizations have also plummeted, down nearly 30%. Mask mandates are vanishing. Even federal health officials have stopped wearing them. And President Joe Biden has said it's time for people to return to offices and many aspects of pre-pandemic life. But this pandemic has been full of surprises, lasting more than 2 years and causing nearly 1 million deaths in the U.S. and more than 6 million around the world. Its severity has been surprising in part because many people drew the wrong lesson from a 2009-2010 flu pandemic that turned out to be nowhere as deadly as initially feared. Quote, we all got worried, but then nothing happened in 2009. And I think that was what the expectation was, close quote, when COVID 19 first emerged, said Kristen Heitman, a Maryland based researcher who collaborated with Ms. Charters. That said, some experts offer takeaways from past epidemics that may inform how the end of COVID 19 may play out. Flu. Before COVID 19, influenza was considered the most deadly pandemic agent. A 1918-1919 flu pandemic killed 50 million people around the world, including 675,000 in the U.S., historians estimate. Another flu pandemic in 1957 and 58 killed an estimated 116 Americans, and another in 1968 killed 100,000 more. A new flu in 2009 caused another pandemic, but one that turned out not to be particularly dangerous to the elderly, the group that tends to die the most from flu and its complications. Ultimately, fewer than 13,000 U.S. deaths were attributed to that pandemic. The World Health Organization in August of 2010 declared the flu had moved into a post pandemic period with cases and outbreaks moving into customary seasonal patterns. In each case, the pandemics waned as time passed and the general population built immunity. Is that happening now, you think? Because the herd immunity thing may not ever happen. We only got 60 something percent of the United States who are vaccinated, and a smaller number of folks who are both vaccinated and boosted. I'm typing to Bliss. Sorry. Excuse me. It's show stuff. So you know, we don't know how this is going to end, do we? Is it ending really? Are you guys both vaccinated and boosted? More questions for you, I suppose. Okay, let's see here. It's Friday, man. I'm going with it. I'm going with the flow. What are we doing? What am I doing? And by the way, there's a breakout in China, and they locked down the largest city in China because of COVID, which is not good and could result in a reappearance. But you know what it is. Mortgages, by the way. Oh, how many of you folks are paying a mortgage? The rates are on the rise again amid inflation fears. Mortgage rates are rising again amid fears of soaring inflation. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 3.85% in the week ending March 10th, up from 3.76% the week before, according to Freddie Mac. Inflation fears and geopolitical uncertainty are both having an impact, said Sam Cowther, Freddie Mac's chief economist. Quote, over the long term, we expect rates to continue to rise as inflation broadens and shortages increasingly impact many segments of the economy. However, uncertainty about the war in Ukraine is driving rate volatility that likely will continue in the short term, said Cotter. The 30-year rate rebounded this week following a jump in the 10-year Treasury, which topped 1.95%, said George Raytu, Realtor.com's manager of economic research. Quote, investors worried about mounting inflation stemming from a likely ban on Russian oil imports amid a spike in the price of U.S. crude to more than $130 per barrel, the highest point in 13 years, he said. Inflation continued accelerating in February at the fastest pace in 40 years, sparking broader concerns about a consumer spending pullback in the months ahead. Prices kept rising last month, pushing a key inflation measure to a level not seen since January 1982. It just gets better and better, doesn't it? That's what we do. Deliver you the good. One more glitz, and then we'll take a break. And I can't unerase my mistake. Sorry, that I made. Here we go. I wanted to do this one because this war is different. The war in the between Russia and the Ukraine. This is the first social media war, really. I mean, there have been others, and social media was around, but this is the one where social media is playing a bigger role. This is from Axios. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is forcing new dilemmas on social media's rule makers, not just in their efforts to limit the spread of misinformation, but also as they struggle to handle graphic images of violence. Platform moderators face complex ethical and legal calls over photos of dead soldiers, images of teens taking up arms, and videos of prisoners of war criticizing the conflict. Everyday users are confronting them too. Facebook and Instagram yesterday temporarily relaxed their rules around violent speech amid the Ukraine war. A company statement said Facebook would allow posts like "death to the Russian invaders," but we still won't allow credible calls for violence against Russian civilians. War intensifies the human impulse to share powerful images, but leaves users with uncomfortable choices and pitfalls in the social media wilderness. With Russia both spreading misinformation and choking off external news sources, Ukraine has been relying heavily on social media to show Russians and the world what is happening in the country. That effort has been effective in helping galvanize a global response, but it can easily cross the line into propaganda too. When a video of a Russian soldier captured in Ukraine denouncing the invasion went viral, it wasn't long before observers pointed out that such footage, if produced by a government, might well violate the Geneva Conventions. Detainees must be treated with dignity and not exposed to public curiosity, like circulating images on social media, the ICRC said as part of a Twitter thread explaining those rules. Some Ukraine supporters abroad cheered images showing Ukrainians, teens, suiting up for war in their skateboarding gear. Others raised questions about how such photos would be received had they come from other parts of the world. Graphic photos of dead soldiers lying next to blasted tanks and of wounded and dead civilians have popped up around the world in countless Facebook feeds and Twitter streams. They are a reality of war and an important part of standing witness to its horrors, but many users aren't prepared or able to verify or analyze them, and outrage frequently overwhelms caution. I don't know if you've seen anything crazy on the web, Bliss. I saw a picture of a Russian soldier, a dead Russian soldier. And I wasn't expecting to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a little off-putting, to say the least.
I don't know. Yeah, that's.
It
is reality, but it's not something you want to see.
No, I could think of a million things I'd rather see on the internet, and that ain't one of them. With that in mind, the Ukrainians are still making this difficult for the Russians to do what they planned on doing, man, which was just sweeping through the country and getting it over with, and then being back to being Russia. And they're fighting back. So fight, Ukraine, fight. That's all I got on that. Just fight. Pat is here, and I didn't know Maryland was Maryland, but that's where Pat lives. And Leilani in California is here as well. Hey, you guys, welcome to the drive. I'm Mario. That's Bliss. When we come back, we will have our community report, which I know is Tay-Tay's favorite, and we'll do some other stuff too. You're watching The Drive with Mario Smith and my man Jake Bliss in Portland, Oregon, and we'll be back right after these words. back, everybody. It's The Drive with Mario Smith. I'm Mario Smith. How you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. It's the weekend, baby. That's what they used to say on the radio. It is the weekend. Finally. Very glad that we made it through this weird week in our world. We talked about it earlier when we were doing the headlines. A bomb cyclone. Not like a bomb cyclone is bomb. No, a bomb cyclone is passing through the central U.S. and it's expected to become a more powerful storm if it's not already doing it across the eastern part of our United States. Heavy snow, strong winds that could cause dangerous travel conditions beginning tonight into tomorrow. Elsewhere, severe thunderstorms are possible from the central Gulf Coast into Georgia, the Florida Panhandle, and the Carolinas from Friday evening into Saturday. As for the blustery snow, Friday night and Saturday, the storm is expected to strengthen into a bomb cyclone by Saturday and bring damaging winds and heavy snow, especially to parts of the interior Northeast. A bomb cyclone forms when a storm decreases in pressure by 24 millibars, a measurement of pressure, in under 24 hours. About 4 to 6 inches of snow is possible in the Tennessee and Ohio River valleys, with more than a foot possible in parts of the interior Northeast, like upstate New York and northern New England. Snow rates of greater than 1 inch per hour, combined with gusty winds late Friday into Saturday, will severely reduce visibility and make for difficult to hazardous driving conditions, the Weather Prediction Center said early Friday. All of this comes as a cold front pushes east, lowering temperatures 30 degrees below average from Texas to Minnesota on Friday night, and single-digit wind chills across the Great Lakes and Northeast into the weekend. More than 60 million people were under some sort of winter weather alert from the National Weather Service as of this afternoon, stretching from Texas to Maine. Much of Colorado and Kansas was inundated with heavy snow on Thursday, with the greatest totals falling over western Kansas along Interstate 70. By this morning, the Kansas City area picked up at least 3 to 5 inches, and more than 8 inches had fallen in parts of central Missouri. Some schools in Kansas City announced they would close today due to hazardous conditions. The worst of the storm is expected to hit the interior areas of the Northeast beginning late Friday through Saturday, according to forecasts. Some areas could receive more than 12 inches of snow. Heavy wet snowflakes may cause scattered power outages, the Weather Prediction Center said Friday of these areas. If you're out east and you're watching this show or you're listening to it, can you give me an idea of what's going on where you are? Linda, how you doing? Sarah's in Indiana. I know those aren't east, but JP's in New York and Connie's in New York. And I am mad curious as to how the weather is where you are. Here in Chicago overnight, it snowed and it was cold, but it snowed a little bit more snow than I think they were expecting to get, like maybe an inch, but it's all kind of melting or melted, not all of it, but most. And I know tonight in Chicago, we're expecting our real field temperatures starting around, like right now, it feels like it's 20 degrees. It's 31 degrees outside. The single digits and below zero in the overnight hours. Early this evening, like around 8 o'clock, it'll feel like 7 degrees. That's weird. That just cut off on me. It'll feel like 7. So it's gonna be cold, and everybody just bundle, be safe. Gliss, what's happening in Portland? Is it cold? Is the weather crappy, or are you guys okay?
It's beautiful here today.
Really? What were we talking?
Let's see. It's 58.
Whatever, man. So what?
58 and sunny.
Nobody cares. I don't even know why I asked.
I mean, that's not gonna last long. So I mean, I think it's supposed to. I think we're supposed to get rain. Yeah, the next like 8 days.
Whew. Mercy.
Yeah,
that's a lot. So okay, I'm glad you're with me, Gliss. Hang with me, brother. Just do this one because we got to talk about Juicy Smollett. Now, Mr. Smollett. First of all, my friend calls me during the judge's ruling, and she's like, Mario, you gotta watch. This guy looks like Ben Franklin. That's the judge. And I turned to it, and I'm like, he does look like Ben Franklin. So that was funny. So it made this easier for me to digest because I'm actually quite upset about this whole deal. So just to remind folks, on the coldest damn day in the history of the city of Chicago, 185-year-old city. It was 100 and maybe 83 at the time. Juicy Smollett worked up this elaborate plot to try to get more money from the people at Fox who were showing Empire at the time, the producers of the show. He was already making like $1 million or something. He was doing okay. He didn't need it, and he lived. For context, he lived in the Gold Coast. Well, not the Gold Coast. He lived in a very nice condo that Oprah used to live in, by the way, right near Navy Pier. Okay, he had food in his refrigerator. He told this great story that 2 men in MAGA hats put a rope around his neck, threw bleach on him as he was on his way to Subway at 2:30 in the morning when it had to be at least minus 45 degrees air temperature. Okay, so he goes to the police. He's got these marks around his neck. All this is self-imposed. They get him in jail for lying. The state's attorney, Kim Fox, is like, you know what? Pay this $100,000 fine. Basically, I'm going to slap you on the wrist. Get out of my city. He was like, cool, I'm gone. They brought him back for a second time. I thought double jeopardy was if they bring you back and say they can't do that, but they did it. So now, last night happens. He gets sentenced after being found guilty for lying in this elaborate hoax that he set up. Juicy Smollett, as the judge is reading the verdict, jumps up and says, hey, I am innocent. I could have said I am guilty a long time ago. And then he said, if something happens to me in jail, I didn't do it. I am not suicidal. All right. Here's the thing. That's a good move because that gives him an opportunity. And I'm going to read to you what the county sheriff is doing. That gives him an opportunity to get protection and to be isolated, right? They're not going to put their fingers on a man that is essentially a walking time bomb. So Juicy Smollett is being housed in his own cell, which is monitored by security cameras and an officer with a body-worn camera who is stationed at the entrance of the cell, according to the Cook County Sheriff's Office. Now, Bliss, this is why I want you to be here. What do you think the attorney said as the reason why he needs to be in isolated confinement?
Well, I would think it was along the lines of what you were just talking about for protection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not that you would think, because that makes sense, right? Ain't nobody looking for Juicy Smollett. Nobody. He did it and said Jeffrey Epstein got murdered, and he had Jeffrey Epstein had protection. So my client is worried that someone's going to try to kill him. First of all, and I can't emphasize this, no one is looking for Juicy Smollett.
I was gonna say a little different situation.
Jeffrey Epstein was raping.
I mean, there was some very he was raping children, and there was some very, very, very powerful, influential people who would have had who knows what really happened there, but would have had reason. This situation, not so much. This guy that did this to himself.
He wanted to get a Subway sandwich at 2:30 in the morning, and I cannot emphasize this part enough. On the coldest, you-know-what year in the blinking history of the city of Chicago. And then he got 2 guys to go along with the gag. 2 Nigerian gentlemen. So when it came out that they were Nigerian gentlemen, everybody, and I do mean everybody, black, white, Latino, Asian, everybody went, Nigerians wearing MAGA hats?
That doesn't make sense. And see, that's the thing that stuck out to me. I don't know how you feel about this, but the fact that the attorneys and some of his family members after the sentencing tried to make it about race, that felt very uncomfortable to me. Because you're talking, I mean, as you said, the two guys were Nigerian. It didn't add up right away, and then they turned on him. And to try to, after the fact, make it about race is a very, very bad look to me, because it takes away from whatever he was trying to accomplish. It completely takes away from all of that, from legitimate, actual racial issues.
Right. And not to mention, look, you did this to yourself. It's not like something happened to you. You can't, what are you making it a racial situation on something you did to yourself? That is ridiculous. So when he hopped up and went, I am innocent, and if something happens to me, that was as dumb as it was, it's a pretty smart move, because now if something happens to him naturally, that's a problem. So they're going to make sure nothing happens to him.
The word is out, yeah.
But here's the thing, he's only going to be in jail for 5 months, and it ain't going to be a whole 5 months, because they're going to get tired of his ass, and they're going to let him go. So if he's in jail for 2 months, I'll be surprised. He's got to pay like $125,000 fine, and then some other thing. It's such a dumb...
Isn't he? He was sued by the city of Chicago as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. But he paid that back.
Okay.
He gave that money. He gave them their money. Here's the problem, man. In Chicago, people are dying from multiple things. There are so many things that are far more important in this damn city than Juicy Smollett. Come on. Word? That's what we're doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Thank you. It's Juicy. My nose won't stop itching. It's Juicy Smollett. He is a threat to no one except maybe a Subway sandwich counter person that at 2:30 in the morning may get a visit from him, because apparently he loves Subway. I got to tell you, man, it bothers me because of what I just said. There are people in Chicago that are dying, getting killed. The idea that he did this, I get it. It's messed up. He shouldn't have done it. How dare you? All those things. It is not all of this, though. This is just a grand show. And you know what? Juicy Smollett is more popular now than he's ever been, and he's going to thrive after he gets out of jail. You watch what I tell you. He's going to be the man. Watch.
It's going to be a book coming down the line, probably.
A movie. He's going to be back on television. He's going to be acting again. He can sing, so he's going to put out all of it. He's not suffering because of this. He's going to be fine. You know who's suffering? Everybody else. Ben Franklin, the judge, his weirdo attorneys, two muscle Nigerian men flexing their muscles with the stupid MAGA hats on. It's just so dumb.
You mean this judge?
Oh, there you go. That guy there, Ben Franklin. See? When she called me, Gliss, and she goes, Mario, you got it. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, you got to turn on the TV. I'm like, what's happening? Juicy Smollett's judge is Ben Franklin. I'm like, what? And then I turn and I'm like, wow, that's a young Ben Franklin.
Hear ye, hear ye.
'Tis the mind that makes the body rich. I will go out and fly a kite in the rain. I am searching for something. You know, if when COVID was at its height, we had they had American Sign Language interpreters to talk whenever the governor or the mayor spoke.
Sure. And
one of them looked like Screech. Yeah, no joke. He looked like Dustin Diamond, rest in peace. And so I tried to get him on the radio show, and I think I may have messed that up because I did not refer to him by his name. And someone working in the within the city was like, "Yeah, he ain't coming on your show." I'm like, ah. So I now call him Screech all the time. Screw him. He made a lot of money in the beginning of COVID. He did well for himself. But yeah, Juicy Smollett, miss me, man. Ain't nobody trying to get you. And then there's that. How much is that costing to have a dude sit in front of you to make sure nobody comes to get you? Who in the Cook County jail system wants to beat up Juicy Smollett? How were they affected? Every damn body else was in the house except for 3 people. Juicy and 2 dudes in MAGA hats.
I was gonna say he already paid someone to beat him up.
That's what I mean. Nobody wants him. Ain't nobody looking for Juicy
except the guys he paid to do it. Juicy
is safe. He is safe. Tete says, "Stop calling him Juicy." I can't. He's Juicy Smollett. Oh my God. Abu is in Canada. Hey, what city in Canada are you in, brother? This is the first time Abu has joined the stream. Dawson is here. Peace, Dawson. Rebecca, how you doing? Linda. We got folks today. That's nice. But yeah, if something happens to me, Bliss, I'm not suicidal. But if something happens to me and I am in the same jail with Juicy Smollett, you know what I'm going to do when I see him? I'm going to say hi. I'm not going to try to beat him up. Juicy Smollett. That's what I just, ooh. With all that's going on, what are we doing? With all that's going on in this town and in this world, it's like they wanted to get him back for what he did, but he had already did it. It's just, and then Ben Franklin again. All of it. Just Ben Franklin lit into him, man. Like, let me see if I can real quick. The judge. Wait a second. He snapped out. Okay, the damage you've done to yourself is way beyond anything else that can happen to you from me, Judge Lynn said. You are now a permanently convicted felon. Why? Why are we doing this? That's so dumb. Leave Juicy alone. Oh, Tete said it's creeping him out that I keep calling the man Juicy. That's what's happening today, buddy. Sorry. Okay, the show is almost over. That's it. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Not over yet. Sorry, my bad. We come back with headlines in a minute, Bliss, and then we'll do the entertainment report. We're going to talk about Ryan Coogler. Did you see that, man, that he got arrested in Atlanta at the bank? Oh, my God. We're going to talk about Kim Kardashian. I'm ready to just ask her to leave the United States. And a very, very important part of all of our lives. A very, very amazing actor made his transition, and we'll talk about that too. Also, Apple got to strike the MLB lockout to end. I'll explain later. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. And hello to everybody that's a passenger. How you guys doing? Real quick. Yeah, Abu, Dawson, Andrea in Florida, Linda, Leilani, Tete, Connie, Karamis, London, Melinda, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll be back right after these words. Welcome to hour 2 of The Drive with Mario Smith. I am Mario Smith. Thank you for watching. You're watching this on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported device. Tete said, by the way, as if Jussie Smollett is about to burst with flavor. That's why he wants me to stop calling him Juice. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. We got an hour left in the show. Well, actually, 59 minutes left before we start our weekend, and we hope that you will be starting yours too. If you are checking us out on Backchannel, please leave a review of the show. Appreciate that. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can jump in the chat. As a matter of fact, everybody can jump in the chat whenever they want. Just get in. Get in. That is the operative thing. Get in. Joining me, because I can't do this by myself, as you can tell, is my man Jay Gliss in Portland, Oregon. Hey, brother, what's happening?
Not much, man. It's Friday. Got 60 minutes left. Under 60 minutes, as you just pointed out.
That would be.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so close to just winging it for the rest of the show.
You should.
I think that's being encouraged.
None of this is that important. We're just here hanging out with the passengers, doing a show.
Yeah, doing a show.
You go wherever you want to go.
Sophia's here. Landon in Georgia. Thank you. Carrie, how you doing? It's Sophia's first time. Hi there. Welcome. Haley has joined the stream in North Carolina. What's up, Haley? I'm always curious as to what city you guys are in. So please shout out your town. Wherever you're from. Let's find out. I am in Chicago.
Beaverton.
You're in Beaverton, Oregon? That's right.
Well, we're right. We're like right next to the border, kind of. Beaverton's like right on the fringe of Portland. But
speaking of Beaverton, got a new pair of Nikes today for Air Max Day.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how I feel about them. They're nice. I'm only going to probably wear them once and find someone with a foot or with feet, not just one foot, but with feet as big as mine, and then I might give them to somebody.
Yeah, we got to get. If you ever do that West Coast trip, we got to get you out to the employee store. I know people who have connections out there, so
they should be paying me for wearing Nikes. That's what I'm talking about. They should be sending me shoes. If anybody from Nike's watching, I'm your man. I'm on stages and stuff. I'm in a TV show.
You gotta look good.
Oh man, didn't tell you I'm filming again.
Oh, again? The same show?
Tomorrow night. No. This is something with HBO.
Well, is it a show or a movie?
It's a documentary about the guys who directed the thing that I did. And I'm reading poetry.
Oh, okay.
I'm reading some of my work.
Well, I'm excited for that.
You are. I just feel like, I just want to sit on my couch and watch TV this weekend.
You don't want to celebrate. I'm going to celebrate baseball. Actually, we're ditching the kids tonight, so.
Oh, sorry, Jack. He didn't mean that. They're coming back. They're not leaving.
No. We're just going to our favorite restaurant. We haven't been out without the kids in a while, so we're just
haven't had a date. It's date night. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. We're just gonna leave them with the two teenagers for a couple hours. Go get dinner at our favorite.
Oh, they'll be fine. Teenagers aren't gonna corrupt those two little kids. Not at all.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. I plan on making an elaborate dinner of something with something because last night in my adventures I left a whole plate of food just kind of sitting there.
Yeah. Well, that's at least you made something. I mean,
no. I wouldn't be doing a show today if I'd have lit a stove up. I've got some food to go.
Oh, you got some food to go, and you just need it. But I mean, at least you had the presence of mind to think that you needed to eat something. Because when I'm in that state, generally I feel like I don't need to eat anything, and that just makes it worse.
Yeah, like I don't drink soda, but I had a Canada Dry. I shouldn't have said the name. I had a ginger ale, and sugar and alcohol don't go together. You would think they do because you can put them in drinks and stuff. No,
it's a worse hangover.
It's an accelerant, and it did just that. So I think before this turns into an AA meeting, I just must inform everyone this isn't an everyday occurrence. I was celebrating baseball, had a really good radio show yesterday, and I went to my place in the neighborhood that I do the show in, and kicked it hard, as the young people used to say. That was me. I was young people. I used to say that. What do we do? Yeah, with my dreads. I almost sent you 2 more pictures too, and I restrained myself. Mason is here. So is Phil and Kevin. What's up, guys? Found more pictures of me, by the way, with hair. Nope. That's it. You saw the one. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna. I hope they don't, because I got. They're gonna ask my friend for pictures of us when we were younger, and that's when my dreads weren't fully formed and beautiful. They were frightening and angering people. That's what I used to do. But yeah, I'm reading poetry, and I haven't read. It's been a couple of years since I read. Before COVID was, I think, the last time I did a public reading here in the city, which went really well. I had 2 very wonderful musicians back me up. Dee Alexander, who's this fabulous singer, and bassist Junius Paul, who swings through your town with Micaiah McCraven, or Joel Ross, or any of those jazz dudes. If he comes in your town and I find out, I will let you know. You gotta see this man. Oh my goodness gracious!
I love jazz, so
Junius.
Usually, it's what's on in the house. Like when I'm prepping for the show, that's usually part of my morning. Is just in the background.
Junius is an amazing artist, and Dee Alexander is one of the greatest singers in the world. And they backed me up at the Green Mill Lounge here in Chicago. I was a feature poet, and I did my stuff, and it was cool. I used to do it all the time, and then I just concentrated on radio and doing, things like this, and stopped really wanting to be bothered. But now I'm being asked to read, so. I was thinking about reading something from the book, The Breakbeat Poets, published by Haymarket. You can get it on Amazon. I don't get any money from it, but you should get the book. It's a good book. But I don't know. I might read something original, Bliss. I don't know. Maybe I'll read someone else's poem and say it's mine, and then I'll get sued for plagiarism. And then they can watch it. They can put me on trial with Ben Franklin as the judge.
Well, I mean, he's in your city apparently.
Oh yeah, I need to find Ben Franklin, and I have so many questions.
He's actually when you were talking about him earlier, he's what's it called? He's trending on Google today. So
is he trending as Ben Franklin?
No, it's just Jesse Smollett, judge.
Oh, okay. That's funny. I do want to. I'm not going to do headlines, but I do want to read this headline. Pfizer. That came out wrong. I'm not going to do the headline package. I'm just going to read this real quick because it just came up. It's not breaking news, but it is news. Pfizer is close to submitting data to the Food and Drug Administration on a 4th dose of its COVID-19 vaccine, according to CEO Albert Bourla. Quote, clearly there is a need in an environment of Omicron to boost the immune response, he told CNBC earlier today. Protection from the first 2 doses of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine waned substantially against the Omicron variant, research found, though a booster shot restored much of that protection. But Bourla said today that Pfizer scientists are now seeing the protection from the initial booster begin to wane against Omicron after 3 or 4 months, meaning a 4th dose may be needed. We are going to submit to FDA a significant package of data about the need for a 4th dose, he said, noting that the FDA and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention would need to come to their own conclusions. Other countries, including Chile, Israel, and Sweden, already allow for a 4th vaccine dose for certain vulnerable populations. Kit Longley, a spokesman for Pfizer, said in a separate statement that the company will submit data to the FDA on a 4th shot when the company is, quote, ready, close quote. To quote further from Kit, these results are early and preliminary, he said. We will continue to collect and assess all available data and remain in open dialogue with regulators and health authorities to help inform a COVID-19 vaccine strategy as the virus evolves. So it's either going away or it's not, but it sounds like a fourth shot, man. I don't want to do this a fourth time. I feel like that's kind of just excessive, but I'll do it because I don't want to die from COVID-19. That just means one of these shows is going to be real slow. And I'm going to be like, yo, everybody, what's happening, baby? And I'm going to sound like I'm on heroin. That's terrible. But it's going to be a bad show if I want to hear high as hell off of the fourth dose. I'm not trying to do all that. Can you imagine a fourth dose? If everybody would have got vaccinated, none of this would be happening. We would have herd immunity and it'd be over with. But nobody wants to listen to me except for between the hours of 3 and 5 p.m. Eastern. So thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. YouTube is saying yes and trying to get a game played on the Amazon supported device. Man, I got some bad news for you, YouTube. This is the drive with Mario Smith. There are no games here. I'm not gaming. I do probably have on these outrageously big Soviet Union issued headphones, but no games. I'm sorry. I don't know. What do we tell YouTube, Bliss? What do we say to them?
No.
Yeah.
He keeps saying yes. So.
Yeah, no. Good one,
I don't know if that's the answer he's looking for. I don't know.
Hey, he got it then when you said no to him, my man. You beat me to it because I was like, what am I supposed to say at this point? But no. There's nothing to say. Let's take a break and come back and do the entertainment report that we call Have No Fear, the Camera's Here. And I will swerve around in my chair like this for a second and stop. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the Drive with Mario Smith. I am Mario Smith. You are watching Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and you're listening to us on your Amazon-supported devices, and we appreciate it. It's Friday afternoon. It is time for Have No Fear, the Camera's Here. And this is a disturbing report, and it's coming from Atlanta, Georgia. Movie director Ryan Coogler was briefly handcuffed by Atlanta police after he was mistaken for a robber when he passed a teller a note while trying to withdraw a large sum of money. The Black Panther director... And the AP is so sweet. They go, who is black? The Black Panther director, who is black, by the way, as if you didn't figure it out, walked into a Bank of America branch on January 7th and passed the teller a withdrawal slip with a note written on it, asking her to, quote, be discreet when handing him the cash, close quote, according to a police report. He was trying to withdraw more than $10,000, and the teller received an alert notification on her computer and quickly alerted her manager that Coogler was trying to rob the bank, the report says. The bank employee is a black woman. Police responding to the bank branch in the upscale Buckhead neighborhood saw a black Lexus SUV parked out front with the engine running. An officer talked to the male driver who said he was waiting for Coogler, who was inside the bank. A female passenger gave police the same information. A description of Coogler given by the driver matched the description of the man reported to have been trying to rob the bank, the report says. The officer detained both the driver and passenger in the back of a police vehicle, but they were not placed in handcuffs. 2 other officers had gone inside the bank and led Coogler out in handcuffs. Body camera video released by police shows officers approaching Coogler from behind as he stands at the counter wearing a light gray hooded sweatshirt, a black cap, sunglasses, and a white mask. As an officer pulls his gun and another tells him to put his hands behind his back, Kugler says, whoa, what's going on? As he's led from the bank, Kugler tells him he's just trying to pull money out of his own account. Police determined the whole thing was a mistake by the teller, and Kugler, quote, was never in the wrong, close quote, the report says. The handcuffs were immediately removed, and the other two people were released from the back of the patrol vehicle. Police can be seen on body camera video explaining to Kugler that they were responding to a call of a bank robbery and had to take appropriate precautions. Still sitting in the back of the police SUV, Kugler is seen on video looking down and shaking his head as the officer explains. Kugler explained to the officers that a medical assistant who works for him prefers to be paid in cash. When he withdraws large sums to pay her, he said he passes the teller a note because he doesn't want the cash run through a money counter right there because it attracts attention and makes him feel unsafe. Quote, I don't know who made that call, who did what, but I just had guns drawn on me for taking money out of my own account, Kugler said to police. The teller never indicated there was a problem, and when she went to talk to her manager, other bank employees kept asking if he was being taken care of, he told officers. The next thing he knew, he heard guns being pulled from their holsters. Another body camera video shows the teller explaining that Kugler gave her the withdrawal slip, and after he inserted his debit card and asked to make a withdrawal, he pointed at the note instead of answering her questions. When she asked for his ID and he gave her a California ID, she said the transaction seemed odd and her stomach started turning. When her computer notified her that it was a high-risk transaction, she went to speak to her manager. When she explained Kugler wanted $12,000 and the transaction made her feel uncomfortable, her manager suggested going to talk to him, she told officers. But she refused because she was pregnant and did not know if he had a gun, she said. All right. You know what? I'm stopping. Check this out. If I've got $12,000 in the bank account and I go to a bank and I'm trying to withdraw $12,000 and I say to you, don't count the money here, that does not sound like I'm trying to rob a bank. Second, because of COVID, that man is wearing a mask. What do you want him to do? He's showing you his ID. He's got a car running with two people in the car. Because if he was trying to rob a bank, you think he'd do it by himself? He probably had three people with him, maybe. At least. This is the dumbest damn story I've ever heard. I hope he sues Bank of America until they change their name to Bank of Black Panther. Idiots. What a dumbass. That's so stupid. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, well, you think that's bad. Kim Kardashian wants you ladies to get up and go to work. Mind you, Kim Kardashian made her living not working, but being on video with Ray J. You remember that? You don't? Google Kim Kardashian and Ray J. And she's telling the ladies, you need to get up.
Just be careful what links you open.
Yeah. And it's not safe for work.
If you do that Google search, just
yeah. You may want to not do it around your children. You may want to not do it at work, and you may want to do it on your burner phone because everybody has one. So don't. Yeah, Kim Kardashian, man, that's no. But how about that Ryan Coogler story? He's going to the bank. He does not have a gun, and she's so scared. Why the hell are you working at a bank if you're that afraid? You're pregnant. And you're afraid. You should be at home. Mm-hmm. Kim Kardashian would have told her to go to work, though. Kim Kardashian wants women to work. In a Variety profile published this week, the Kardashian-Jenner women discuss making money, their reality TV legacy, and their sprawling empire of lifestyle brands. One quote from the feature has social media users bristling, and the advice is turned into a meme. Quote, I have the best advice for women in business, Kardashian told Variety. Get your blanking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days. Again, she made her career based off of living her life on her back with Ray J being Ray J. That's how she did it. Did you know who Kim Kardashian was before then? No. You might have because she's, beautiful woman. But come on, man. This is really horrific that this
I'm
woman
gonna be
said
honest.
that.
I cannot stand the Kardashians.
I'm not a big fan either. It's like one of them I like that I think is very pretty, and she seems to be the adult in the room. But the rest of them,
yeah. She. If I had to, lean on one of them, I think we're talking about the same one. But yes, because of everything that you just stated about Kim Kardashian, they just, whenever I see them in the news, I'm like, why should I care about these people
at all?
Like,
give me the reason. Her dad was in OJ's was one of the lawyers in OJ's trial. Yeah. Okay. Her other father is no longer a man. All right. I guess okay. And you and Ray J, and you were married to Kanye.
And he's basically it's like a big circus.
And that man is obsessed with you to the point that he keeps inviting you to go to his concerts and perform with him, and you keep doing it, but you won't let him see his kids. It's all a mess. It's a big giant mess. Okay, in news that won't make me want to go outside and slap somebody in the face, the South by Southwest Festival is back. It's one of the first major events. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Pretty excited. It was one of the first events to be canceled because of COVID-19. Travel plans were upended, venues were shuttered, and many businesses took a hit. But now, after going entirely virtual last year, festival organizers and local business owners say they are ready and excited to welcome thousands back to Austin for the event, which kicks off Friday in person for the first time in 3 years. There will also be an online component to the festival, making it a hybrid event. This is going to be great. South by Southwest is what's happening. And it's good for the businesses in Austin. Brings way too many people, but it happens. They're doing the whole proof of vaccination and the whole deal. It's going to be great, man. If you're going to Austin, enjoy South by Southwest on me, please. By all means, have a ball. It's going to be really, really good. Okay, man, this got me yesterday, and I couldn't really talk about it because it just was hard for me to talk. You may not know the name Emilio Delgado, but you know who he played. Luis from Sesame Street died at the age of 81. He played that character for 45 years. Amazing. I can tell you, Sesame Street is 50 years old. Or over 50. He's like 53 years old. I think I'm a year older than Sesame Street. And by the way, he has a record for being the longest running Mexican American actor in a TV series. I'm not going to speak for Gliss, but I know that that show means so much to me still. One of the dreams that I have is that I would be on that show one day to play with the kids and to be in the neighborhood and all that stuff. And Luis was a huge, huge part of it. That's really outside of like my uncle, who's Venezuelan. I am not Venezuelan, by the way. Luis is like the first Mexican American character that actually I could identify with that looked like Mexicans that I knew. You know what I'm saying? And that was hard to see that yesterday. That it's bothersome. And I really, really hope that people who watch that show just keep in mind how important that television show is and why people like Emilio Delgado were super important to my development and probably your development too. Very sad. Man, how do you feel about this Major League Baseball deal with Apple?
I mean, if it's going to give me more games, I guess it's.
That's what I.
Well, I mean, I will say, like, since I live out of market from my team, I generally get the package so that I can watch every game. But
that's one of the things I wish that Major League Baseball would have resolved yesterday too. In the 99 days of negotiations. Why is it that you, living where you live, have to have any out-of-market games at all? Why is it I can't watch the White Sox or the Cubs play and I'm in Chicago? I have to seek them out.
Right.
That is so stupid.
We've talked about that a little bit with sports in general, where it seems like in this day and age, with how many services are out there,
right?
Like why the leagues haven't stepped up the access. Like if I want to pay a premium to watch however many games I want, I should be able to watch it regardless of if I live in the market or not.
You would think that they would have
the whole blackout
down
thing just doesn't really make sense to me. I guess it's to protect the local networks that are broadcasting the games, but not every. I mean, a lot of people have cut cable, and so I kind of had that issue with the Blazers because they switched broadcasting partners before the season, so they were no longer on Hulu. So I had to seek out. The only streaming service they were on was Fubo or Fubu. Whatever,
yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah,
Fubo.
Fubo. Yeah. So yeah, it's really weird that you can't just with all the options we have, you should be able to watch your team in any sport whenever you want. If you want to pay
anytime I want. That's right.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to pay for it, I should be able to watch it. I had the MLB package for a while, which I canceled when these idiots did this lockout. And I think I need to write them another letter and apologize for my tone because I'm pretty sure the words were bad and not good. But I think Apple TV Plus doing this is getting it closer to Major League Baseball coming to the decision that they need to loosen it up. You know why the NBA and the NFL are so successful? Because you can watch it anywhere. You can see it anytime you want. It is made for people to get the content if they want it. Major League Baseball acts like it's special and that it can't share what it does with people. Stop it. Your archaic product needs to be revitalized, and the best way to do that is to let people be able to see it. Don't be an idiot. Hey man, let's take a quick break so we can come back and do sports actually. And then lots to talk about in sports today. With the lockout being over and some other things. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. We'll be back right after these words. Welcome back, everybody. It's time to play ball. Man, look, finally, baseball is back. Major League Baseball owners and their idiot commissioner decided that they wanted to get this going again because you need it and so do I. And I am happy as I could possibly be. Baseball is back. Spring training starts on Sunday. The first game is April 7th. They're going to get the whole 162, which is still too many games, in. And doubleheaders, that 7-inning doubleheader with the man on second base, that's over with. The players are going to have advertisements on their jerseys. I love it. And man, how about that? It's time for baseball, Gliss. I am super excited.
Oh, man, me too. I couldn't be more excited. It's especially... as a Giants fan, it was a rough couple of years up until last year. And last year was just a magical season for Giants fans because they kind of came out of nowhere doing what they did last year. So I was excited when the season ended, even though we lost to the hated Dodgers. But to have everything, ready to go and on the books and all that, I'm very, very excited to watch some baseball.
And here's something interesting. The Associated Press is reporting that the All-Star game might be decided by a home run derby. So and this is just a memo, I guess, but I don't know if this has been confirmed or not. But quote: if the All-Star game remains tied after 9 innings, the game will be decided by a home run derby between the teams, subject to the parties' agreement on details and format. Tentative agreement, All-Star game, and home run derby. Dated March 1st and obtained by the Associated Press, the page was signed by MLB Senior Counsel Casey Sinosian and Players Association Deputy General Counsel Matt Nussbaum. It is part of a 182-page agreement that led to the end of MLB's 99-day lockout and the opening of training camps. I'm all in on that, bro. If that's how they want to decide the All-Star game, that sounds... Now you're talking. I'm interested.
Yeah,
I'll watch that. Yeah. Let that game go 10 innings and decide it that way. Oh, yes. It's like the penalty kick in soccer.
Yeah.
Get 10, 11 dudes up there. Everybody hit a home run. If you don't hit, yes. Shoot, they should use that for regular games. That would be fun. The other thing about this too, Gliss, that I like is that free agents are going to be available. And I have some breaking news for you. The Giants and Rodon have agreed to a 2-year, $44 million deal. Rodon pitched for the White Sox last year. So there you go. Here's another update for you. Trevor Bauer is expected to be placed on administrative leave for a week as MLB investigates, considers a possible suspension. This is from John Heyman from MLB Network. Bauer doesn't believe his case warrants a ban since the judge who heard the case threw it out. MLB can and has issued suspensions for non-criminal offenses. Here's another breaking news story. AJ Ramos to the Angels. Let's see what Carlos Rodon is a giant. I wanted the White Sox to figure it out and keep him, but it didn't happen. You got a good pitcher coming your way, man. The only problem is that he gets hurt, and I think I think last year he just was out of gas. I was at that no-hitter he threw. He was masterful, and it was an amazing performance. Carlos Rodon is the goods. I am so glad he's not in the American League. That works out great. Dave Roberts says
I go by the same philosophy. If my team is losing a player, as long as they're not anywhere near me, if we're gonna lose them, he better go somewhere where I don't have to see him.
I know Cub fans were mad that Chris Bryant stayed in the National League. I'm like, yo, if I was a Cub fan and I saw Chris Bryant coming, I'm going in the opposite direction. I don't want anything to do with him. You can have Carlos Rodon, my friend. Enjoy him. He is really, really a super great baseball player. You guys are gonna have fun. David Ross, Cub manager, signed an extension through 2024 with a club option in 2025. And that's kind of it in the free agent world and the signings and stuff.
That's fun though. There we go. I mean, there's real baseball news. Yesterday we were in a lockout, and now there's people getting deals. That's awesome.
It's not bad. It's I would like the White Sox to go ahead and pull the trigger, get a second baseman. That's all you need, a second baseman, right fielder. Now you need a pitcher. We'll see what happens, man. There's more real quick. Or is it? I think that might be it. I just updated it because it's starting to happen. That that trickle turns into a stream after a while. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. For sure. Piper says hello in Canada. Hey, Piper. Ashani's here. Noah, Anne-Marie, Mike, Willow, Leslie, Mary Lou. Hey, everybody. I'll look you in the face. Hi there. How you doing? I'm Mario. That's Gliss. Somewhere down there. Let's see. What else do we have? The ads on the uniforms. I wanted to talk about this as well. Major League Baseball is going to add jersey advertisements. I love this idea so much, man. I don't know why. I am not advertising for anybody, but we can get a backchannel.tv thing on a White Sox uniform. I think. For the first time in Major League Baseball history, the league's player uniforms will reportedly feature advertising. Advertisements will appear via patches on jerseys and decals on batting helmets. Jersey advertisers, which have long been seen in Europe, Asia, and Latin America, have become nearly ubiquitous among major U.S. professional sports leagues. MLS introduced them in 2007, and the NBA followed suit in 2017. They already appear on NHL helmets, and last August, NHL owners agreed to add them to uniforms in their league in the 22-23 season. NASCAR has long featured advertising on its drivers' cars and racing suits. After MLB's decision, the NFL is now the only league without plans for jersey advertising. The NBA is the most recent league to add jersey advertising, and the move has already paid off handsomely. According to Boardroom, listen to this, the Jersey Patch program produced a combined value of $225 million for the 21-22 season, over double the league's original estimates. Wow. Along with jersey advertising, MLB will introduce the following as part of its new CBA: a 12-team postseason, designated hitters in the National League, a draft lottery for the first 6 picks, draft pick inducements, limits to the number of times players can be optioned to the minor leagues. That's a big one. And a 45-day window for MLB to implement rule changes. I love the jersey idea, particularly if you're a player that might be, part of that company you're advertising for. That's money. Make your money. I'll buy a White Sox jersey with an ad on it. You doggone right. I want, what do I want? Harold's Chicken. I want Harold's Chicken Shack on my White Sox jersey. You got to look up Harold's Chicken Shack. Or Uncle Remus. That's the other chicken place in Chicago. There's only 2. There's like 2,000, but there are 2 of them. But, or White Castle. That'll be fun. Oh, God. People will be sick. And the other news story is Khalil Mack, Chicago Bear, traded to the Los Angeles Chargers. And I'm going to tell you, Gliss, I think I was hopeful that he'd stay here because I think this year coming up is going to be a good year for him. If he stays healthy, man, he's the man. I love watching him play football. It sucks, but the Bears are in a real they're in a rebuild. They won't call it a rebuild, but they also got rid of Danny Trevathan today, and Tariq Cohen is gone too, and Eddie Goldman. So they're tearing up their team. They're building it around Justin Fields, which is what the previous regime should have done. And Max, 31 years old, he ain't going to win nothing here. Give him a chance to get somewhere where he can win. He is also away from us. Get out of the NFC.
There you go.
Go away. Do it somewhere else.
And the Chargers are looking like an up-and-coming team.
Him and Joey Bosa.
Oh, look,
him and Bosa, they're going to beat up a lot of people. That NFC West, AFC West, I'm a big fan, man. I think I'm going to really pay a lot of attention to what's going on in the AFC West. That's fun. That's good stuff. By the way, last night, did you see the Nets just dog walk the Philadelphia 76ers? Man, what a mess. I'm telling you, what a mess. The Nets are real. I don't know about Philly. But the Mets, that's a real thing. Tonight in the association, there's an 8 p.m. Eastern game, the Knicks against the Grizzlies. And there's these times are, 7 o'clock, the Timberwolves against the Orlando Magic. At 7:30 Eastern, the Clippers against the Atlanta Hawks. And the Pistons will play the Celtics. At 8 p.m. Eastern, the Cavaliers, boo, against the Heat, boo. The Mavericks play the Rockets. The Mavericks play the Rockets. The high-flying Hornets against the Pelicans. At 8:30 Eastern, the Jazz against the Spurs. That might be a good game, actually. That might end up being a good game. 9 o'clock, the Raptors against the Suns. And at 10:30, the Wizards against the Lakers. The Lakers are going to lose again. And lose. I bet you they lose. This is bad for them. One game in the NHL, it's the Golden Knights, who I'm beginning to not like, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. That is a 7 p.m. Eastern tip or a puck drop.
I was gonna, since you brought up the Lakers, it just reminded me. Do you have HBO? HBO Max?
I don't.
Okay, because
I want to see it. I know.
Yeah, I watched Winning Time last night, and it's pretty entertaining. I was all in. By the end of it, I was ready to. I need a new episode.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It got me. It's very entertaining, and they constantly break the fourth wall. They
that's what I understand.
It's very entertaining. I really like it.
By the way, Stay is here. Hi, Piper, Noah, Amory, Mike, Willow, Leslie, Ashani, Mary Lou, Ray, and Willow are here. These are some really nice names.
Yeah,
people. Hi, Piper. How you doing? You know, if I had a kid, if it was a girl, I'd name her Piper. I think that's a cool. I've always thought that was a good name, Piper. Okay, that's it for sports. How about some quick facts? Because these my favorite part of this show, I think. Um, let me see. I gotta find a good one. Oh wait. Okay. Not so many facts today. That's fine. On this day in 1702, the first London Daily newspaper is published. The first public game of basketball is played in 1892. Wow. Former President William Taft is buried in Arlington National Cemetery in 1930. Born on this day, Bobby McFerrin is 72 years old. Wow. I met his daughter, Madison.
Oh, yeah? That's also a good name. Madison.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice lady. Actor host Johnny Knoxville is 51 years old. And Anthony Davis, AD, always disabled, that's a joke, is 29 today. I didn't come up with that joke, so don't yell at me.
That's crazy. He's not even 30 yet. It seems like, I guess because he's always hurt.
You know, he can just come here. Just come back to the Bulls, man. Just come on back. We'll fix you. We'll take you right over there to the Rush Hospital and get you all fixed up. On this day in 1970, the Beatles single Let It Be is released in the United States. In 1994, the Supremes receive a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. And in 2003, after a 4-day walkout that cost the city $10 million, Broadway musicians settled their first strike in nearly 30 years. I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too.
I remember that because it was like people were very upset. They couldn't go see Wicked or any of that stuff. Yeah, especially if I'm flying to New York specifically to see a play and you tell me I can't see it because what? Get out of here.
Yeah, that would not be cool. I mean, that's like one of the things you got to do when you're in New York.
Absolutely. And the next time I go, that's on my list. I didn't do it the last time I was there. I need to do that. Oh, we got a story coming up that I am sure will have pictures attached to it. It is great. It's so great. You are going to love it, everybody. Let's see who's in this chat real quick, Gliss. Leighton joined the stream in Washington, D.C. Zeke is asking, why does he have to tell where he's from? Hey, Zeke. Yeah, man, that's the question we're all asking. I guess YouTube left. Not too bad. Everybody, thank you for joining us on the stream today. We really appreciate it. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have a story that this one is good. They're all good. Let's find some cool stories, but this one, yeah, we're gonna have a chance to talk about this for a minute. It's The Drive with Mario Smith. It's our last break. We'll be back right after these words. I want you to be prepared to be overwhelmed. It's time to show pictures of dogs catching cheese. A dog photographer who captures hilarious, I love that word, pictures of pooches trying to catch cubes of cheese for charity is donating 8,000 pounds, that's over $10,000 US, worth of pet supplies to local food banks. Carolyn Cohen, 56, from Falkirk, runs Kerry Southerton Dog Photography and holds catathon events which involve pooches desperately attempting to catch various treats in their mouths 6 times a year to raise money for canine charities. At her latest last month, the mum of two raised 1,355 pounds, but was disappointed by the number of people who booked a slot but failed to pay and turn up. Now, Carolyn and her husband, Alistar, have teamed up with Burns Pet Food, who will supply around a ton of dog food to be donated to food banks and hope to raise a further 2,000 pounds to reach their goal. And the pictures are amazing. Let's take a look. Look at that. What in the world? Look at that. That is incredible. Look at these dogs are ecstatic about cheese. Oh, that poor guy didn't have his mouth open.
I one of our dogs is like that. The other two are like totally on top of it.
Right.
You know, they're in focus. And the other one, he just lets it like bounce off of his head and then eats it off the floor. I think this one's one of my favorites.
That's the best one. Look at that dog.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That is insane.
He must be jumping or something.
Something? I don't know. Look at that one. Oh, my goodness gracious. Awesome. These are the best pictures ever. Wow. So yeah, man, these dogs are I'm going through the pictures again myself. Carolyn started hosting the events in 2018 and continued for 14 months, raising 15,000 pounds overall before she was forced to pull the plug on her fundraising when COVID hit. At her latest event, Alasdair, 63, diced up 10 kilograms of cheese to throw at the pooches while Carolyn snapped away, taking up around 50 pictures per pet. Oh, the dogs can't catch the cheese in their mouths. This is great. Right on, Gliss. This made my day.
Anything involving dogs is always all right.
From Rottweilers to Greyhounds to little border terriers, Carolyn snapped pictures of 41 dogs lunging for cheese at the charity event. She said, "It was a crazy day, but we have never laughed so much ever. The owners had a ball. It was brilliant. There were only 6 dogs who didn't or couldn't catch the cheese. Some were being princesses and just looking at Alisdair after he threw the cheese with great disdain, as if to say, 'How dare you throw something at me?' But you get the hilarious outtakes with the ones who don't catch. So it was great fun, and the dogs loved it." Oh, man. This is so cool. I am saving this one for myself. I have to watch these pictures over and over. Right on. Well done. That's good stuff.
That's as soon as I go in the house, I'm going to be cutting up cheese and
throwing it at your dogs.
Throwing it at my dogs, yeah.
Nice. Super nice. We got some time, but let's see here. We can always just abandon ship and just sail away.
Of course.
Let's call it. The house from Edward Scissorhands is for sale in Where Else, Florida. The house made famous by Tim Burton in the 1990 film Edward Scissorhands is on sale in Florida for $699,900. And the residence comes with memorabilia, including a life-size mannequin of the title character played by Johnny Depp. The owner had the home remodeled to make the interior resemble the sets that served as the inside of the house in the film. And it is stocked with memorabilia, including authentic and reproduced props, an original script used by the movie's prop master, and a life-size Edward Scissorhands mannequin. The exterior of the house has also been decorated with unusual landscaping designed to resemble the topiary art created by Edward. No, won't be moving into that home.
No. That sounds the mannequin creeps me out.
That sounds bizarre. I don't know. I won't do it. Dominic, Barbara, Stephanie's in Texas. Hey, you guys. Leighton says, "What's up?" I'm good, brother. It's Friday. About to leave you guys alone. Let you have your day. You finish doing whatever you're doing there on your Amazon supported device.
I'm curious. I was just because this just crossed my mind. I don't know that I'd want to live in a house that was famous.
No, because I don't want people coming by to see my house all the time.
Exactly. In fact, the movie The Goonies was shot in Astoria, Oregon, right at the coast, and they actually had to board up their entire house. And a lot of people feel like they're grumpy and whatnot, but they claim that people started, that they were okay with it for years and years, and a lot of people would come up there, but that it started to get like, people would leave garbage and stuff like that. And so I kind of side with someone like that who doesn't, maybe just sell it and let someone take it over and make it into a museum, but you shouldn't have to sell your house if you like living there just because it was filmed, used.
Exactly. But I mean, it's just like with President Obama's house, which is a couple blocks away from me here in Hyde Park. Well, this is what they did. They put a bunch of big giant trees around it. So you can't see the house at all. Unless you go in the house, and who's going to the Obama's house unless you know my man Barack Obama. I don't think I can live in a thing. I don't want all of that. I don't want people to know, to be able to. You're seeing too much of my house now. I don't want people to know anything. I got to get a green screen. I bet you a green screen's coming. I bet you. Now that I said it, that's like I just gave it away. I should have said it. I want my green screen to have moving video on it though, of like people throwing snowballs at each other and stuff.
That'd be cool, like a really nice high tech one. Yeah,
it would be totally distracting. What isn't distracting already?
I just want one. I'm just gonna have Dylan T. Pickles.
Speaking of Dylan T. Pickles
in the background.
Speaking of Dylan T. Pickles,
right back here, right behind me.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of, with baseball season starting. Yeah, Dylan T. Pickles will probably be available.
He'll probably be back in action, huh?
We need to get somebody from the organization to get Mr. Pickles, or it might be Mrs. Nah, but it looked like that. That's a guy. Get Mr. Pickles on the show.
I think that would be great.
Or get you out to the ballpark and you can do it live from the
do like a man on the street segment with Dylan T. Pickles. Yeah,
he won't be able to talk, but who cares? It will be wild for me. I would love it. Everybody else would probably hate it. I think it would be great.
Might have to make that happen.
Dylan T. Pickles. Yeah, I definitely thought about Dylan T. Pickles yesterday. I'm not joking. I was like, oh, word. Dylan T. Pickles is back in business. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we actually have the Diamondbacks single A affiliate is like 4 minutes from my house. Oh, cool. So that was another option. I could take the kid to
take the kid to
minor league game in the meantime.
Take the kid to a game, man. He'll never forget it. I remember the first game my dad took me to. It was against the Boston Red Sox. I want to say it was 1972, 72 or 73. And I will never forget it. I remember it like it was yesterday, man. And I always used to. And I still do. I am very proud of the fact that I got a chance to go to one game at least with my pop. I think we might have went to like 3 or 4 games before he passed away. But yeah, baseball with your kid has got to be one of the best things ever. Just don't sit by a bunch of drunk clowns at a game.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen some stuff. One time we lived in LA for a couple years, and I was at a Dodger game. And we were sitting in the bleachers, my dad took us out to the game, which, we moved around a lot as a kid. So I didn't really care if it wasn't my team. Like, I just like going to sporting events.
Right.
Even though it was the stupid Dodgers. But these 2 Dodger fans that were drunk, they had an issue with the guy sitting in front of them.
Yeah.
And he was there with his daughter, and she was like 11 years old or something. I'll never forget it. They were yelling at him, dropping F-bombs, and they poured beer on his head, and it got all over the girl too. So that girl, her experience go into a baseball game with her dad was two drunk idiots pouring beer on her.
Well, you know, I went to a football game. I went to
not cool.
No, not at all. I went to a Bears game with my kid, and these dudes had probably been tailgating since 7 o'clock in the morning. They were in front of us, and they started smearing mustard on each other.
Oh my goodness!
And so my guy goes, "Why are they doing that?" And I go, "Well, they've been drinking since 7 a.m. and it's about what, 2 something now? They're
right.
gone, son.
Like they can't answer that question themselves.
They don't even know that they're smearing mustard on each other yet.
Right.
It was so weird. Hey man, enjoy your weekend, brother, and have fun at your date with Lindsay. And don't forget, Lindsay, trip to San Francisco. You and Gliss, the whole family, taking Jack to a game. Sounds like a plan. Be well, brother. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Right on, man. Okay, one last run through here. Paper. Thank you. In California. Stephanie in Texas. Thank you. Connie and Carmen's London and Melinda in Virginia. Thank you. Barbara and Stephanie and Jordan and Leighton and everybody that's joined us this week on the drive. I truly appreciate you guys doing that. Thank you so much for being passengers. It is greatly appreciated. The next time you'll be able to view something on Backchannel.tv will be on Monday morning, beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern with Haley and Allison. Until then, my name is Mario Smith. As the sun begins its descent here in Chicago, Illinois, I'm wishing you all a great weekend. Please take care of yourselves, and we will be back on Monday afternoon starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. On behalf of everyone at Backchannel.tv, I'm Mario Smith. Have a great weekend.